Hello and welcome. Your host, That Montana Guy, bringing you another video. Can you guess, out of all these items in front of me, which one we are reviewing? This time I did say review, so we are actually doing a review. It's kind of going to be like a tabletop review, as always. But I have used this item. Can you guess what it is yet? No? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's the Habilis bush tool. Okay. Habilis bush tool. I can actually say that I've done a review. I can do a review on this. As you can tell, it's kind of beat up. I have used it quite a bit. These other items here are from the Pathfinder school. That's actually where I got this knife. As you can see, I'm a big fan of Dave Canterbury. Nothing else I can say about that. I'm just a huge fan of his. So anyways, Dave Canterbury, keep up the good work. I love your stuff. You're very informative. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, I highly recommend it. I mean, all you have to do is go on YouTube and type in Dave Canterbury. You'll find it. It's like the Self-Reliance Outfitters. I'm an avid and a huge fan of his channel. As you can see it by a lot of stuff from his channel. I don't have everything in front of me that's from his website, but just wanted to show you a little bit. Anyways, enough ranting about Dave Canterbury. Again, Dave, thank you for making the videos. I do learn a lot from you, even though I am in Montana and in the western woodlands. There is still quite a bit of knowledge that I can gain from you. The trees, not so much. Like the hickory, but there's a lot of other stuff I do get knowledge from you from. I do appreciate you putting out the information. So without further ado, the Habilis bush tool. I've had this for probably about 3 or 4 years, I'd say, maybe a little bit longer. And where to start? When I bought this, it came with the Kydex sheath. I do have it around somewhere. I just don't know where it's at the moment. But I did upgrade to a leather sheath. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But anyways, the Habilis bush tool. It is made out of 1095 high carbon steel. Its Rockwell is, I think, 56 or 57. Has a G10 handle. It has 2 pins keeping it in, and it has 2 hollow points. It has 2 holes in there. From what they say, and I understand, is it so you can tie it up to a tree, or tie it to a tree. No, that'd be kind of stupid. Tie it to a branch. If you need to get like bananas up in the tree or whatever, and you need to cut it down, you can tie this to a branch. Tie it to a branch right here with these. It does have a lanyard hole. It does have a little lip right here. Let's see. G10 handle. It is a full tang blade, as you can tell. Maybe, hopefully. Okay. Full tang blade. The overall length of this specimen, yeah, I'm trying to be scientific, so what? I know I am putting it wrong, but I don't care. This is overall length is 10 inches and 1/4, or 10 1/4 inches, or 10.25 inches, whatever floats your boat. The blade itself is 5 1/4. So if you do the math, if the overall length is 5 1/4, and the blade is, if the overall length is 10 1/4, the blade is 5 1/4, how much is or how long is the handle? Option A, 5 inches. Option B, 5¼ inches. Option C, 4 inches. Option D, 8 inches. Well, if you do know your math, is option A, 5 inches. So the handle is 5 inches. Congratulations if you got that correct. If you didn't, shame on you, go back to school, learn some math. Just kidding. Just kidding. But no, seriously, it's 5 inches for the handle. The thickness of the blade is 3/16. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's pretty. I don't want to say it's heavy, but compared to the Grizzly, it's not really that heavy. But compared to the Genesis, that's heavy. So from the weights of these, I don't know how much they weigh. I couldn't tell you. I don't care. The only thing I'll tell you is if you have the Genesis, that's the lightest. If you have this one, it's going to be in the middle of the weight. And then you have the Grizzly, which is going to weigh the most. Of course, that's 6mm thick. If you're interested in an informational video, I'll put the link down below. That way you can watch it. Just giving you a heads up, it is very boring like this video. But anyways, back to what we were saying. The blade, I don't know if you'll notice this on here, but it's a little bit different. It's got a Scandi grind, but it has a secondary bevel on it. So it's technically what they call a pseudo Scandi grind. It's the Scandi grind and then the secondary bevel, which is at a different angle. It has green, or I'm sorry, it has a gun, not green, sorry, I'm not colorblind, I was just looking at my wool blanket here. 100% wool, so anyways, it has a gun blued finish. I'm not a very big fan of the gun blued, to be honest with you. It just kind of wears off anyways. And then when you're wearing the Kydex sheath, it was kind of scraping right there. I don't know if you can see it too well, but that's beside the point. Yeah, pseudo Scandi grind, and the let's see what else. Oh well, first of all, it's made in the U.S. The Genesis also was made in the USA, and that had a draw point. Grizzly was made overseas by our friends in Europe. Anyways, this one made in the US. On top of here, you'll notice it's a little bit different, kind of a profile. I don't know if you can see it too well on the camera, but right here there's a little bit of a difference, and what they call that is the anvil. And so when you're batoning, you can hit this piece, and it's just to help with batoning. And while I am talking about batoning, yes, I batoned with this. I do have a story for you. So sit down, relax, make some popcorn, pause this video, do whatever, go to the bathroom, come back. You ready? Okay. So the story begins. I was over by, I was actually up in, over by Red Lodge area. I like going out there because it's a beautiful area. But anyways, where I was at, I found this dense thick wood. I don't have a clue what it was. I'm not an expert in trees. I couldn't tell you. I just know it was hard as a rock, and it could have been a rock. Who knows? Could have been petrified wood for all I know. But I took a regular stick or branch. I was trying to baton this wood to go so I can make a cup of coffee. And long and behold, I couldn't do it with this stick. It was just too dense a wood or too hard. So what I ended up doing, and I don't recommend this to anybody because it can damage your blade, but I did have a tomahawk with me that I got also from the Pathfinder school. And I took the back end of it and I beat the living hell out of this knife, and I was batoning with the back end of the tomahawk, and it finally was getting through there. So as you can, I don't know if you can see it too well, but there's a few nicks, and that was from the tomahawk. Like I said, I don't recommend that. I just did that because my other options weren't working. So anyways, yeah, it has the anvil right here. And right here, I don't know if you can see it too well, but it also has a ferro notch, just like the Grizzly did. The 90-degree spine on this isn't actually... it's alright. It's not my favorite. I think that's probably because of the blue finish. It kind of seems like it rounded it over, to be honest with you. But that's just my intake on it. The notch, it works alright. I've used it quite a few times, but my preferred method is just use the back of this. And I also have other means of using it, or to use. I don't really use this because I wasn't much of a fan because of the 90-degree spine being like that. But needless to say, even without that sharp 90, it's still a decent knife. What else to say? The blade itself, you'll notice too, it kind of has a continuous curved blade on it. So if you can, I don't know how you can see it too well, but it's a continuous curve. So instead of like the other knives I showed, this curves all the way to the end. Okay. It also has on this side, but on the other side, and that's another good thing about the anvil too, is I haven't personally done this because I can't do bow drills. I haven't ever tried. I'll try some point in time, but that's not on my to-do list anytime soon. Anyways, it's got a fire bearing right here, and from what I've been told and what I've seen is you can use the anvil to put on your leg when you're using this for the bow drill. I guess it keeps it stationary, but like I said, I haven't tried it myself. It's not my method I really want to care about doing right now. It also has an extended pommel. It has an intricated guard on here. The handle is kind of like has a little bit of curvature to it. Not much. It's mostly straight, but when you look at it this way, you can see it has multiple holds. So you can hold it like that. You can hold it back here, especially if you have a lanyard right here. You can hold it, so I guess it's good for chopping. I don't really chop with my knives that much. It's just not my preferred choice of doing stuff, but you can use it as a chopper. You know, get to the chopper. If you don't know who that was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not an actor, so I couldn't do it too well. But anyways, yeah. So it's multi-position handle. The angle on this, if I remember correctly, was 30 degrees. I can't remember, to be honest with you, I can't remember if that's the Scandi grind or the secondary bevel. I just remember one of them was at 30 degrees. It's been a while since I've looked at the information on here. I just use it, beat the hell out of it, like it. One of the things you want to know also is because of the secondary bevel, when you're doing cuts. You don't want to, for instance, if you're using the fat wood, which is this, you can't go straight down. I mean, you can, but it doesn't work too well. The best way that I've found using it is cutting it sideways, like that. Or you can do it this way too, if you want to make curls. But you don't want to go straight down because it just kind of seems like it's a little bit harder to manipulate with the wood. There's not much else I can say really about that knife, except that I do enjoy using it. Again, it came with the Kydex sheath. I upgraded to this leather sheath, which you can take your ferro rod. It comes with a ferro rod notch. This is the ferro rod that came with the knife. I've used it a little bit. So about to the sheath. It has kind of the same concept as the Grizzly for the sheath wise, how it has it sideways instead of it being folded. This it kind of has it sideways, so that way you can have it as a scout. So you can have it as a scout on your belt. You can have it, you know, like a scout weighs. And the nice thing about this too is you can have it actually left or right. I mean, your imagination's as far as I can go with this. Also, another thing I like too is the way that this unbuttons. It does that on both sides. Okay, so if you're left-handed or right, it doesn't matter. You can manipulate this to work the way you want to on your, if you have it as a scout position, or you can just take it off altogether. I don't recommend that, but anyways, you can also, it has a straight piece right here, so you can have it way up on your belt if you want to go this way. I don't find it very comfortable that way, to be honest. In fact, the Kydex sheath that I had with it, I didn't like it. I didn't have a very good hold on it. Where the Kydex was, where the loop was for the leather or the belt, this kept digging into my side, so I didn't really like that much. This has a dangler with a some kind of ring on it. It's not D, but or not D ring, but well, maybe it is. I don't know. But nice thing about this is that this piece right here, if you want to take it off, you can. It's got a screw, flathead screw, so you can take this off if you want to. Other than that, there's not really much else I can tell you about this knife. I did, you know, tell you about the incident that I had with it, with the tomahawk, but that's really about it. Again, thank you all for watching this video. I do apologize, it's kind of a lengthy one, but at least I finally did a review on a knife instead of just an informational video. I mean, this kind of is, but at the same time I had some experience with it. Also, one thing I forgot to tell you too is on this side right here, it's extended out, and the what is it? The G10 handle is kind of cut out. I'll try to show you a little bit. See that? And I've never tried this, but the makers of that claim that it's like that, so you can kind of scrape out a bowl if you want to. I haven't personally, but you can do it that way, from what they say, what they claim. So, again, thank you all for watching. Have a great day and stay safe out there, and enjoy the woods. Take care. Bye-bye.